Red rum! Red rum! Red rum! Red rum! Red rum! Red rum! Stop it! Red rum! Red rum! Red rum!
Baby, you're a stitch man. Baby, you're a stitch man. Baby, you're a stitch man. Duh. Woo-hoo-hoo. Good morning, Flosstube. Fancy seeing you here on such a beautiful, cloudy, almost rainy day. My favorite. My favorite. Happy March, everybody. Everybody having a good March? It's March, right? It must be, because I said that I was going to make one video per month, and I double checked to see when my last one was, and my last one was in February. So that must mean it's March, right? Happy March, everybody. Let's just assume that I went through a whole list of reasons and excuses like I always do that nobody cares about anyway, and just move on. Can we just move on? Let's just pretend that happened already. Who cares anyway? Nobody really cares. I'm here now. I've made your day all the better for being here now. That's all that matters, right? Live in the moment. Who cares what happened in the last 3 months? And look who's joined me today. This will make it even better. Look over my shoulder right here. It's Maple, my princess. Hey, Maple. Maple, say hello to the people. No, she doesn't want to do that. So how's everybody been? How's the last couple of months been? Feels like I haven't seen or talked to anybody in forever, except the couple of people that I hassle every single day. Rye, my guy. He loves it. It feels simultaneously like I just did this and like I haven't done this forever. I'm not really sure which one it is, but every now and then, still, the occasional comment pops up from my previous video, whenever that was, February, and it feels like so long ago that I don't even know what they're talking about anymore. Like, I get this comment of, like, you know, something that I must have said in the video, and I'm like, what are you even talking about? I mean, I should have gone back and watched it before I filmed this, so I know what I talked about last time and what I should be talking about this time, but who cares? Who really cares? But do you know what this is, though? Do you know what this actually today is actually really exciting? But it's because this is my 50th FLOSSTUBE video. 50! 50? Doesn't that seem kind of excessive? seems like that's about 45 too many, wouldn't you say? Oh well. Here I still am, still plugging away, still annoying the shit out of everybody. And I have no plans to stop. 50 is just the first step toward 100. Strap yourselves in. But we should do something, though. We should do something to, like, mark the 50th at least. Like, it doesn't have to be a whole thing, but, you know, I was thinking maybe we could have, like, a pint of beer together. But beer doesn't seem like... It just doesn't seem like enough for 50. 50, that's a big number, 50. I think we need something with a little bit more heft. I was thinking maybe we could do a shot together. How about this, huh? Look, I have a little bit of this left in my cupboard. Oh, Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. How does the rest of it go? The ship has weathered every rack. The prize we sought is won. Wow, I am so cultured. Oh my God, that smells so good. I'm not like a hard liquor kind of a guy, and I don't like to take, like, if I'm gonna have something like this, I usually like to mix it with something, but like this Captain Morgan spiced rum. Holy fuck, that smells good. Well, here's to 50. Clint Eastwood would be proud. I think maybe I should have mixed that with something. Here, luckily I came prepared. It's almost as if I knew I was going to do this. Look, I have a glass full of ice right here. How convenient. Is there anything better than a glass of rum and Pepsi? Yeah, there are a lot of things better than this, but this is what we're having. So I've got a pretty decent amount of stuff to talk about and to show you today. I thought I should probably do something, though, like to mark the, you know, the 50th. I didn't want to make it a whole thing. It doesn't have to be a whole, like, you know, sidetrack tangent video with make it all about me when I have so much more to talk about me. But I was trying to think of something that I could do or something I could say that would encapsulate these last three and a half years that I've been sitting here in front of this goddamn camera doing this. I didn't really know what to do. I didn't really know what to say. I was just trying to think of something short and sweet and concise that would just sort of like wrap up and summarize my entire FLOSSTUBE cross-stitch experience. And then I remembered that my friend Emma X Stitching, once said something in one of her videos that just says it all. It says it all. It's exactly what I want to say. It's exactly what I want to feel. It's everything. It's everything that the last 3.5 years has encompassed for me. And I think that we should just let her say it instead of me. Go ahead.
Darcy Cameron over on FLOSSTUBE, Stitchman Darcy on Instagram. The king of FLOSSTUBE, in my opinion. Not Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Brings a tear to a glass eye. Let's watch it again.
Darcy Cameron over on FLOSSTUBE, Stitchman Darcy on Instagram. The king of FLOSSTUBE, in my opinion. Not Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery.
So if you want to tune out here, I'm happy about that.
All right, let's get right to it then. What are we waiting for? Let's do this before I pass out and puke all over my camera. I'll give you a quick overview of the things that I intend to talk about today so you can make your decision now about whether or not you want to stick around and watch the entire video or not. What a nice guy I am. Here's what I'm going to talk about today. Me. And all the wonderful things that I've been doing. Sound good? Everybody in? All right, let's do it then. First, I'll tell you about being at the market, which has been really, really good. It was kind of a new thing the last time I sat here and made this. I'd only been there a couple of times. I've been there for months now. I forgot. It seems like it's been so long. I forgot what I was even like talking to you about, because I keep getting these comments about how much I should be charging or not selling for finished pieces. And I'm like, oh yeah, that is what I talked. I forgot all about that. That seems like so long ago. So I did get, and thank you very much. I got a whole bunch of comments, opinions, some really helpful stuff about like whether or not I should be selling finished framed pieces or not, and what I should be selling them for. I thought I'd come up with some system and some formula or something like that. Does that sound right to anybody? Does anybody know? So obviously I'm not doing that. I did get a couple of extra special comments that were really, really helpful in like helping me decide what I should do about that. Hang on 1 second. You think I would have edited that out, but no, I think I'll leave it in. So when it comes to selling finished pieces, like you're never going to get back the time you put into it and make it really like worth it, quote unquote. I thought I'd come up with a decent formula for like what seemed like a reasonable price for if anybody wanted to buy, because some people were interested and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. Anyway, one comment I got that was really helpful and helping me think about it was, is it worth the price you're going to get to that? Is the money you're going to get from that worth restitching it? Like, say, for example, this one right here, which I thought, what the hell? Oh, that's a light. Where's that coming from? So this one right here, which I thought like maybe I would sell for, I don't know, $60 or $70 or something like that, which seemed kind of reasonable. But is it worth having $60 knowing that I'm then going to have to sit down and stitch the whole thing again? Am I going to be like, yay, this is totally worth it, $60, but now I have to do it again? No. And the other comment I got that really was a light bulb moment for me was, rather than selling the finished frame pieces, why not just have an entire kit ready to go so that you can tell people, hey, these ones aren't for sale. These are my example models, but I've got everything right here in one nice, neat little package in case you want to take it home and stitch it yourself. So that is what I did. I started making kits, and you would be surprised. Maybe you wouldn't be surprised, but I was surprised how well that works. For somebody that like is oohing and ahhing over a framed piece, to then steer them towards like, look, I've got everything you need right here. Look at this. Huh? This? and I got the fabric, and I got the floss, and I got a needle, and you can just pick it up and just take it and stitch it yourself. You would be surprised how well and how often that works. That works really well. A lot of people take me up on that. Thank you. So I haven't put any of these kits. I've got kits for just about everything that all of my designs, and like multiples of some of them because they sell better than others. It's been a lot of work, but it's definitely been worth it. These two sell quite a bit. This one and this one. This one in particular because a good example of why it makes such a big difference to have a model stitched up, because I have this sitting there framed on my booth right now, and I don't know if this translates as well on video, but this is, of all the things that I have, this stops people dead in their tracks when they're walking by. I have more oohs and ahs and, you know, stop and stare and pull their husbands back over and or come take a look at this, and, you know, hey, I've got the kit right here if you want to stitch it up yourself. And like this one is very popular here in my little hometown. So I don't have any of these kits in my Etsy shop. I'm not sure if I will or not. What do you think? Because I just assume that people who are watching are people who are, you know, people who know me and are buying stuff from me. You probably already have a gigantic stash full of stuff anyway and don't necessarily want to be like, you know, tied down to the colors and the fabric that I picked out. Just do it yourself, right? But I don't know. Maybe somebody would want a kit. Here in town, locally, people seem to much prefer having it all done up for them and not having to make any of those decisions. Because ever since I started putting these together, this separate, like, you can buy a chart, or you can buy a fabric, or you can buy all the pieces. People don't want the pieces. They want one thing all together, all in one shot. This has been going really well. So, that's that. Mr. Kitman. Another thing that I learned from people, like from being there and talking to the people that are like into or sort of into cross-stitching, is some people are really interested in it or kind of know how to do it, but are a little bit intimidated by bigger things. So another light bulb moment that I had while I was during my weeks there, I was like, well, maybe I should do some smaller things. So for the people that are kind of interested, kind of want to try it, but don't want to try a big thing. I can do small things. So I did some small things, and I've been really into these small things lately. I mean, it's been like, it's funny because I started out floss tubing, like I was Mr. Full Coverage. I only wanted to do gigantic, heaven and earth, big things that are going to take years, full coverage. That's all I did. That's all I wanted to do. And now all I've been doing lately is these little ones that only take a day. I love them. It's so satisfying to just sit down and start something and finish it before you even have to get up to pee. It's great. So I've got this, which I've had, you've seen this one before, but like I hoop this up and have this displayed as one of my, I'm considering, when I say small, my parameters for small are anything that is less than 100 stitches in any direction. So I think this one is like 90 something by something. If it's less than 100 and less than 100, I'm considering it small. So I lump this in with my smalls. I also whipped this little one up for anybody that wants to just sort of like dip their toe into stitching and have a nice little friendly sentiment sitting on their walls. All the things you can fuck this, fuck off, fuck it, fuck you. Who wouldn't want this? I've also got this little guy right here, which this one was born out of the comments that I would get on this from people who really liked it, but again, were sort of like amateur. I think I might know how to do it, but I don't know if I can really do something all that big. I like the cat, but maybe something a little bit smaller. So that's why I did this. It's like pretty much the same cat, but just sitting on a little moon, not quite as complicated. I did this in an evening. I started this, I mean, I know I'm a professional and all, but I started this after I ate supper one night, and I finished it before I went to bed. It's easy. It's quick. It's simple. It's cute. It's nice for anybody that kind of likes this but doesn't really think they know what they're doing. Get this instead. It works. any dollar I can hustle out of anybody for any reason, I'm your man. Give me your money. And I've been working on this one too. This one isn't quite finished, but another one that I've had this one for a while, but kind of got shoved down on the list and almost forgotten about. but I've been looking for an excuse to stitch on my green fabric because I really like this green fabric that I make. It's one of my favorites, but I haven't stitched anything on it yet. I've been looking for something to stitch, and I've been into doing these small things lately, and I thought, what a perfect combination. Green and small, and green and small. And here it is. It's not quite finished yet. I've got a little bit more to go around the border. It's going to be another layer of yellow and another layer of black, but then it'll be done. You've probably seen this on Instagram finished before I even post this video, because I'll probably be finished this tonight. Maybe I should slow down a little bit on the old Pepsi drinks, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, this one, I started this on Saturday. Today is Monday. It's going to be finished today. Easy, quick, easy, nice. I've been so satisfied with, like, you know, just putting my hoop in one spot and not moving it and sitting down and having something started and finished quickly. I'm liking it. I'm probably going to do more though. I have these ones that I've finished are in my shop right now. Like, you can just buy the chart. I don't have the kits. Like, maybe I'll put the kits into. I don't know, but you can buy these charts in my little small section, which I called quickies, because that also means sex. And look at my professional masking tape job I did here. Don't look at that. Please don't look at that. Nobody sees the back. They sit on my stall like this and they look professional. Anyway, as I do some more, I've got some more small things, but I don't have them stitched up yet, and they look way better when they're stitched up than when they're like computer generated. So as I finish more, maybe I'll put some more in my shop too. If you guys are interested in sitting down and stitching something before you have to get up and pee, I've got a few of them. If not, whatever. They mainly did them just for the people here, the local people that like want to try something, but want to try something small. That's why I've been doing these. But, you know, I can share them with the townspeople. I'm generous. That's what a good king does. I also want to show you real quick some of the fully finishes that I have done over the last little bit. There's no more motivation to actually fully finish something than to have your own stall at a market that you have to decorate. It's great motivation to learn how to frame stuff and to get stuff done. Your old pal Stitchman has become quite the little framer, let me tell you. I've done quite a good job on a couple of these, one or two. So I got this one, which I can't even remember if I had started or not the last time I was floss tubing. Was this a thing? Do you remember this one? Had I started this yet? I don't know. If I had, I definitely hadn't finished it, and now I've finished it. And this is just a cheap little frame, but it fit really well, and I think it looks pretty good when I've got it, you know, propped up on my little display there on my stall. It looks quite good. I'm surprised by the number of people who don't know what this is referencing, to be honest. I mean, most people do. Most people get it, but more people than I would have thought don't understand what this is and don't even know The Shining when I tell them it's from The Shining, and they're like, "What the what? What's happening? Like, how do you like how do you? There's some things I just don't know how people avoid. Whether you've seen it or not, whether you like horror movies or Jack Nicholson, it's just like some things are just so part of the world that like I don't know how they're avoided, but okay, whatever. I'm not judging. So I just thought everybody would just know what this is, but not everybody does. They just think I'm a weirdo. This is actually the one too that sort of spurred my, you know, hey, maybe next time I'll start doing some smaller things for people who are interested, because some of the people who were interested in cross stitch but a little bit intimidated by it would turn to this one and buy this kit, because it's only one color and looked a little bit easier and more forgiving. So that's what sort of launched my whole, like, well, maybe I should just do something simpler. You know I'm Mr. Look How Fancy Pants I am, and the bigger the better, but shit. Like, nothing wrong with something small, is there? I hope not. I also did this since my last video, which you may think I'm ridiculous, but it was bothering me. I restitched this. I'd stitched this once before when I first designed it, and I got rid of it. I didn't get rid of it, but I scrapped that and I restitched it and updated it slightly, which I don't really like doing. I don't like to go back and like go over stuff that's already done, like just leave it be. But I I backstitched. Really, all I did was I backstitched the bird, and I made his beak a little bit less weird. It looks more pointy and more like it looks more like a bird now than whatever the pixely little thing that he looked like before. Just looks a little bit better. I didn't really know what I was doing back then. I still don't really know what I'm doing, but I know a little bit more of what I'm doing than I knew when I first did this. And so I redid it and updated it a little bit, and here it is. Well, it's been bothering me to have, and I know this, part of this seems petty, or maybe petty is not the right word, but to have things on display on my stall that are not stitched on my own fabric, because I've got the fabrics right there too, or like the kit's done up, and like to have an example that is not, and having to explain to people, well, I did that before I started dyeing fabric, and like it was getting a little bit like, I don't know, I would rather, if I'm gonna have my own thing, I'd rather have it stitched on my own thing too. So I restitched it on a piece forgetting to breathe. I restitched it on a piece of my own fabric, that you can buy the fabric, or you can buy the kit, or you can buy the chart, or just me. I don't like things that don't have anything to do with me. So I redid it so it was all me, baby. And on that note of redoing things so that it's all me, baby, I'm sure you've seen this if you follow me on Instagram. I redid Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, on my Tangled Up in Blue fabric. Yes, I'm ridiculous, but let's just take a minute. Let's just take a minute to admire it, shall we? Look at that. Woo! Ooh, stop talking, Stitch Man.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
So I'm going to have this one hopefully framed by the next market on Saturday. Today's Monday. Have it framed by Saturday. That's the plan. Again, this is just one. This is one that's like, you know, this is my centerpiece of, like, you know, especially as it gets closer to Christmas, I'm really going to want Yippee-ki-yay front and center. But again, another one of those ones where I had to sort of like, well, you can't really, this is just a plain old fabric that, like, you know, if I were to redo it, you could do, it would look good on this, it would look good on that. Like, you know what I mean? It just feels like, I didn't like it. I like, not that I didn't like the Yippee-ki-yay that I did. I just didn't like that it was not on my own fabric. Especially when I'm trying to sell my own fabric and I'm trying to sell the kit and it's not on it. You know, did I just say this? I said all of this already. Had to redo it. Had to. And I'm glad I did. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. I just want to show you one more thing before we move on from this. I know you've seen this before, but when I have this one sitting on my stall and, you know, and when I hang it on my wall, when I look at it, I'm just, if I could just toot my own horn for 1 second. Okay, that was more like 6 seconds. But I am not only happy with, like, the design of this, I like the frame that I picked and the framing job that I did on it. Me. I did all the things. I'm as happy or happier with this than anything that I've paid a professional $300 to do. I think this one just turned out spectacular. And a fantastic example, too, of what a difference the fabric makes. Because if you remember, I started stitching this on a plainer looking fabric and didn't even bother finishing it because I didn't like it. And I thought maybe it was a design flaw, or maybe I just didn't like the design as much as I thought I did. But no, it was the fabric. The fabric makes all the difference. And the frame goes with it really well, and I think I framed it really well. It doesn't look wrinkly or anything, and it's just like, I'm just so happy with this. Why would I ever pay anyone hundreds of dollars to do it for me when I can do a better job than they can? Let's toot that horn again. So that's my market update. Market has been really fun. It's been fun to have a stall. It's been fun to talk to real people and to spread the joy of stitching. I'll be spreading it even more in the upcoming months. I'm not stopping there. I'm growing. I'm moving on. I've got this, because we're getting into, like, the second half of the year is really like Christmas market and craft market season, and I am hustling as much as I possibly can. I'm already in 3 of them, signed up and confirmed. There's also, here in my city, there's a summer market that's like an outdoor downtown market that's really, really busy. It's like the place to be on Thursday nights here in this city. I'm in that too. That starts in a few weeks. I'm really excited and really nervous about that because like the market that I've been at, it's been great, but it's kind of a smaller, slower place. This one that I'm doing in the summertime is very, very, very busy. So I need to up my game a little bit. I've been like scrambling to get enough stuff prepared and to like make sure everything looks pretty. I'm nervous about it and I'm excited about it, and things are happening. Your old pal Stitchman is just making things happen left and right. And what's so special about you, Stitchman? You might be sitting there thinking, why him and not me? What's so special about him? Nothing. I'm going to give you the answer right now. I'm going to give you a motivational speech. Nothing. There's absolutely nothing different and nothing special about me or why any of this should be happening to me or why it should be going so well for me. Nothing. No reason. The only reason is because I'm trying to do it. I'm doing it. You could do it too. Okay, I lied. I do want to say one more thing about like market and stall stuff that I forgot along these lines. It's about having models stitched because it clearly it makes such a difference. Like I had this one sitting on my stall for sale for a couple of weeks without a model, just the pattern. And the difference in interest and in sales and in like the difference in having a model is like it's night and day. It's you need a model. But I don't have as much as I wish I did. I don't have time to stitch every single one of my things all the time. I want to and I wish I did, but this is just like I'm just curious because I don't know how any of this works. I don't know if anybody has done anything except Ryan told me one thing that he did one time. What does that mean? What does Ryan know? Ryan doesn't know anything. I'm just curious if anybody out there has ever had models stitched for them, or if you've been a model stitcher for somebody else. Like, how does it? Because it seems like an enormous thing to ask somebody, even for something small like this, to ask you to stitch it for me and then send it back to me. You don't even get to keep it. Because that's the whole point, is that I would need it. I just don't want to do it. So I'm just like, how does that work? Have you ever done that before? What do you get? Do you get paid? Do you get like, here, I'll give you the whole kit for this and I'll throw in a couple of free fabrics. Like, is that worth, like, I'm not asking anyone to do that. This is not a call for model stitchers. I'm just curious what people do if they've ever done that before, because it just seems like it would be. I was talking to Ryan about this, about like how it just seems like what an enormous thing to ask somebody to stitch it and then give it back to me. How does that work? So I'm not asking for that. I'm not talking about it. I'm just talking about it. You know what I mean? You ever see Glengarry Glen Ross? We're not talking about it. We're just talking. We're talking about it, but not about it. We're just talking.
Are you just talking about this, or are we just talking about it?
Yeah, we're just speaking about it.
Speaking about it is an idea.
Yes.
We're not actually talking about it.
No, not actually, no.
You didn't?
No, not actually.
Did you?
What did I say?
What did you say?
I said not actually. Fuck you care, George. We're just talking.
We are?
Yes.
You're actually talking about this.
That's right. Have I said that?
Are you?
Did I say that? What did I say?
What did he say?
What did he say?
I also wanted to get your opinion about something related to my Etsy shop. Me. We're going to move on from me briefly in just a moment, but for now, I keep all these things keep popping into my head. This is just a series of like, oh yeah, instead of just writing stuff down in some sort of sane order, it's just an entire series of oh yeah, and I forgot about this. Oh yeah, and I wanted to talk about this. Oh yeah. So I need to get your opinion about something that I maybe should have. I tried something and I don't think it worked. But it also could have just been coincidental. I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I should have maybe mentioned this in a video or something before I just went ahead and did it. I just didn't think it would be that big of a deal. But anyway. So if you go to my Etsy shop right now and you want to buy fabric, you can pick out the specific one that you want. I've got pictures of each one of them. I know which one is which. Like Tangled Up in Blue. I've got two sitting right here, like option, you can go to my shop and it'll say option A and there's a picture of it, option B and there's a picture of it, and I've got like corresponding, like, see that little A right there? And see that little B right there? I know which one is which. So whichever one you pick to buy is the exact one you're getting. And I like that. And I know that people like that. So it's not just like, here's kind of what they generally look like. And yours will generally look like that too. You'll know exactly which one you're getting. That's how I've been doing it. That's what I like. And I think that's what you like. But, hold on. What was I talking about? But I did just randomly test run recently. What I did was, because I'm getting a little bit problems, Stitchman problems. I'm getting so busy and it's hard to keep track of everything. So, because I'm going to be doing multiple markets and selling online, and I've had, you know, interest. I haven't done this yet, but I've had interest, and I've been talking to people about, like, the people that have an actual store that might want me to wholesale some stuff to them. Like, things are happening, and it's getting a little bit hard to keep track of everything. So I did, for a little bit, I switched over to just like, here's a couple of examples of, say, let's just use this as an example, Tangled Up in Blue. Here's a couple of example pictures of what Tangled Up in Blue generally looks like. So if you buy one, I'll just send you whatever the next one is. It's not going to be the specific necessarily one, but you'll get a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like. So I did try that for about a week, and I don't think it went over too well. Nobody actually said anything. Like, is that like something, like, when you buy these from other people, do you pick out the actual, I saw a picture of this one and I know that's what I'm getting? Like, is that just a luxury thing, or is that something that, like, do you care about that? Like, if you had like just 3 or 4 pictures of, like, here's what the blue one generally looks like, yours is going to look pretty similar, is that okay? Or would you rather have the specific? Because I changed it back to, like, you're getting your specific one again, because when I changed it over to generally the general way, you'll just get the next one and here's kind of what it looks like, my sales slowed way down. And, like, I know I can't just, like, expect people to buy, like, you never know what people, it's not like people have to buy stuff. People can just stop buying completely if they want to, but there are trends that you can sort of predict, like, here's kind of what generally happens. And when I switched over to that, it went, and then when I switched it back, it went back up to normal. So I was like, okay, nobody actually said anything to me about what the hell are you doing, but I took that as a pretty good indicator that people didn't like not being able to see the specific one they're buying. Does that matter? Do you care about the, like, I know you probably would prefer, like, knowing exactly what you're buying, but, like, I didn't think it would be such a big deal that people would just be like, fuck this guy. Anyway, I'm happy to do it this way. It's just, it's a slightly more work for me to keep track of everything. Like, say I'm at the market and somebody buys this one, option B, I need to, like, immediately take that off Etsy so that you don't also buy it, even though I already sold it. You know what I mean? Yeah, eventually I'd rather just have a pile that I sell on Etsy and a different pile that I take to the markets, but I don't have enough time for that yet. So I just like, what I bring to market with me is the same stuff I have on Etsy. And if somebody buys it, I gotta be on it so that I don't sell it in 2 places at once. I know, Stitchman problems. I'm sure you're all interested, right? You tuned out 5 minutes ago. I'm just like, I'm happy to do it that way. I'm happy to, if that's the way people like it, to pick out the exact one you want. But I didn't think that would be such a big deal that people would just abandon me. Okay, whatever. All right, do you want to see something that's not entirely me? Chessie. Remember Chessie? I've been trying really hard, even though I've been, like, extra distracted by, you know, decorating my stall and stitching my own things and doing all that kind of stuff. I've really been trying not to neglect Chessie. I've neglected some other things, but not Chessie. So let's take a look and see what Chessie looked like the last time we saw each other.
This is what Chessie looked like last time you saw it.
Darcy probably regrets asking me to do this.
And here's what Chessie looks like as we sit here today. I know it still just looks like, you know, when he's all Q-snapped up like this, he doesn't look like much. But I've got this and then a little bit up here, and then this entire page will be done, and then no, like, there's a little bit more right here, not even, like, these aren't even full pages, but this is like less than even a half of a full page. Like, this is just a little bit right here. And then all I've got left to do is like a full page chunk right above here. And that's it. That is it. Chessie will be finished. So with the amount that I have left, I think it's still feasible that I could be finished this by Christmas of this year. Not feasible if I keep going at the pace that I've been going for the last month or two, getting sort of like, you know, distracted by my little guys over here. Look, I gotta stitch on a little thing. Like, but if I can like dedicate a little bit more time to Chessie, it's not so overwhelming that I do think he could be finished this year. And then no more Chessie. Can you imagine that? It just seems like my entire FLOSSTUBE. I started Chessie in my second FLOSSTUBE ever. FLOSSTUBE number 2. Chessie made his first appearance. And now here he still is every single time after that. Can you imagine no more Chessie? What am I going to do without him? So the plan still is, whenever the time comes, get down to my last little bit where I've got like an hour or two of stitching left. And I'm going to really try to work up the nerve to hop on YouTube, go live. You can stitch with me, or you can just watch me finish them. We'll finish them together, live and in person. Doesn't that sound like fun? Doesn't that sound like fun? Huh? Maybe that'll be this Christmas. Yippee-ki-yay, Chessie motherfuckers.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Okay, now we're going to do something fun. This being my big 50th extravaganza. Has it been an extravaganza? I don't know if that's really the right word for it. I have a few stitchy friends who knew my big 5-0 was coming up, and they just insisted. I tried to resist, but they insisted on sending me some messages of kindness that I could include here in this video for you all. No, I did that once before for my big 1-year anniversary. I had some guest stars come in to say some words about me. You all seemed to like it. They wanted to do it again. And who am I to stop them? If people want to say nice things about me, who am I to say no? So let's do that now. First up, hey all, it's me, Rai McGuy. I just want to say what an honor and privilege it is to be friends with Stitchman Darcy. We talk all the time and it's not annoying at all. I feel so blessed to be friends with him. Darcy, you're the best at everything you do. We should all be so lucky to just bask in your reflected glory. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go cut my hair with my Saju scissors. Wow, that was really nice. You don't see that too often. Ryan agreeing to do a cameo like that, saying such nice things. That was special. Who's next? Who wants to be next? Hello, governor. It's me, Emmerich Stitching. Do you like my jumper? That's what we call sweaters here in the UK. We also drive on the wrong side of the road. Why do we do that? I don't know. Fuck. I remember the first time I saw Stitchman Darcy. I thought, well, that's the handsomest chap I've ever seen. As we... I can't. As we became friends, I realized he was so much more than that. He's also the funniest, the smartest, the most talented, one might even say.
The king of FLOSSTUBE, in my opinion. Not Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery.
She's going to kill me. Should we do one more? Can we handle one more? I mean, what kind of a tribute like this would be complete without our old pal Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery? I'm sure he's got some nice things to say too, right? Hello. Take 2. Hello. My name is Jacob Raff. I am the owner and designer of Modern Folk Embroidery. I just wanted to pop on here and say how grateful I am that Stitchman Darcy has not yet decided to jump into the world of samplers, because once he does, I fear I will be completely out of business. He's better, smarter, funnier, more talented than I. He has kindly allowed me to stick with my little niche of samplers, but once he decides that he wants to take over, I fear it will be time for me to go back to another career of, say, welding or puppetry. Until that time, I just need to express my gratitude for him allowing me to be his friend. I salute you, King. Touching. Absolutely touching. I feel so blessed. Well, that was a lot more fun than I thought it would be. Okay, we'll do one last thing before we part ways for the rest of the year, even though I'm going to tell you I'll be back next month. We all know I won't be. But until then, one last thing. As a real genuine thank you to like all the people for all the things and sticking with me for 50 of these. 50. That's too many. It's too many. How about a little giveaway? I haven't given anything away in a long time. I don't have much. I don't have much to offer, but let's dig around the pile and see if anybody's interested in any of the things. So somewhere around Easter time, Stitch Lady Melissa asked me if I could create some sort of Eastery kind of a fabric. She was imagining like Easter colors all in the same fabric, like pink and blue and green and yellow or something like that. Like, yeah, something Eastery. So I tried, I did what I could, but it turned out more like I don't know if we just like it's pretty. I just don't know if we would describe that as Easter. It kind of turned out more like 1960s tie-dye hippie, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. It's pretty. It wasn't exactly what we were kind of picturing as Easter, and I didn't really, I gave it a couple of shots, but I was just like, then Easter came and went, and I was just like, eh, the moment has passed. So these are like, it's pretty. I'm gonna keep one, and Melissa's gonna keep one to like, because we might do something with it, but then that leaves me with it. They've just been sitting there. Like I didn't put them in my shop. I don't take them to market with me. They've literally just been sitting in my little bucket of fabric. So maybe somebody out there wants one. What do you think? Would you use this for anything? I'm not like, I'm gonna give away this piece of shit that I didn't want. It didn't have the Easter feel that I wanted, but that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with it. It's nice, it's pretty. Do you want one? So we'll have to have a key word for this, so I know you actually want it. I almost forgot. So I don't know, let's say hippie. Hippie. Say the word hippie somewhere in your comments so I know that you want this. And whenever I make my next video, I'll draw a winner and you can have it. I'll send it to you for free. What could go wrong? How about this one too? I love this. This is my green. Where is it here? Same green that I'm doing this one on. This one is 16 count, and generally I do 18 count, and all the other ones in my shop are 18 count, and I've got this one random green 16 count kind of just sitting there, and it drives me nuts. I need to either do more 16 count and more of these, or I need to get rid of it because I can't handle just having one little oddball out. So it's 16 count, it's green, and it's pretty. It's this, and if you want it, let's include that in the giveaway rather than me thinking I'm going to like bulk it up and continue on. Let's just for now, let's get rid of it. Isn't this a great giveaway? Get rid of my garbage for me. Who wants to take it? This isn't garbage. It's nice. You'll like it. So we need a word for this too. And green is a little bit too obvious because some people might just say something about like, hey, I like that green thing that you're doing without knowing that there's a giveaway because they didn't stick around this long. So how about Kermit? How about Kermit instead? Say the word Kermit somewhere in your comment, and then I'll know that you actually want this. And then you can have it. And then we'll all be happy. How about one more thing? How about this little guy right here? Not the actual thing right here, but how about a kit? Anyone want a kit? Stitch this up yourself. Got a little piece of gray fabric in there. Got a couple of colors. Got the whole skein. You don't even need the whole thing. You'll have a whole bunch left over. How about that? Want a kit? Meow? How about meow? Say the word meow somewhere in your comment, and I'll send you this whole damn kit. Oh my god, Stitch Man, you're so generous. What did we ever do to deserve you? I don't know. So I think, saints be praised, I think that's it for now. I think we got through everything. Try to be back sometime soon if I think I have something interesting to show you or talk to you about. June, it's June already, and June is the month of half Christmas. It's half Christmas this month. I mean, maybe I'll continue on my tradition of doing a June 25th half Christmas video. Seems kind of quick. Like, I don't know if I'll have the enough stuff or the motivation to do another video in a couple of weeks for half Christmas. But maybe something just Christmas specific. Won't have to be a regular floss tube. I'll just get up here and dress all Christmassy or something, because you're all in a Christmas mood in June, right? Right?
That's right. That's right.
Anyway, thanks as usual. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Thanks for sending me messages. Thanks for being my friend. Travel down the road and back again. So I'll be back sometime soon or not soon. we'll leave that up to the Stitch gods at this point. I don't know when I'll be back, but when I think you've missed me enough, when I think I have enough interesting things to talk to you about, I'll be back. I'll draw the winners for all the things. Until then, whenever that is, keep being awesome, keep stitching, keep doing all the things. Thanks for everything, and goodbye.